Welcome, gents. The most powerful move is knowing when to walk away, not in defeat, but in clarity. Sigma males aren't wired like everyone else. They're not the type to throw tantrums, beg for attention, or stay stuck in toxic situations. When they've had enough, they act with precision, self-respect, and an unshakable resolve. It's not about being cold or ruthless for the sake of it. It's about reclaiming their peace, energy, and time. Being a Sigma male means you operate on a different frequency. You don't rely on approval, and you certainly don't settle for disrespect. You value freedom, and when something or someone threatens that, you don't argue, explain, or beg. You move, and you move with purpose. This is not about revenge or playing games. It's about standing up for yourself in ways most people are too scared to. If you've ever been in a position where you're done but unsure how to handle it, this is for you. Watch the video and see how Sigma males handle enough with unapologetic power. Number 1. They revoke access without warning. When a Sigma male decides he's done, he doesn't give warnings, explanations, or dramatic goodbyes. He simply revokes access to himself. One moment, you think everything's fine, and the next, you're staring at a blocked profile, unanswered messages, or a cold, unreachable silence. It's not petty. It's precise. Sigma males understand that energy is a finite resource, and they refuse to waste it on people or situations that no longer serve their growth or peace. Their actions may seem harsh, but they are rooted in self-preservation. They don't owe anyone a play-by-play of their choices, nor do they feel the need to justify cutting someone off. If you're out, you're out. This abrupt disconnection leaves people in a state of confusion, sometimes anger. What did I do wrong? Or why didn't they say something? Are common reactions. But that's the point. Sigma males know that silence speaks louder than any explanation. They don't engage in endless debates or give others the satisfaction of a drawn-out closure. Their departure is their message. It's not about punishing anyone, it's about reclaiming control. They've mastered the art of choosing themselves over unnecessary noise. By removing your access, they protect their boundaries and signal that their time and mental space are not up for negotiation. This act also weeds out those who took their presence for granted. The sudden loss of access forces people to reflect on their behavior, often too late. For the Sigma male, this isn't cruelty, it's clarity. He moves on without looking back, knowing that protecting his peace is worth more than maintaining unnecessary connections. If you find yourself on the other side of that wall, you're left with one truth. He's gone, and he won't be coming back. Number 2, they become ice-cold observers. When a Sigma male decides to step back, he doesn't flail or fume. Instead, he turns into an ice-cold observer, stripping away emotion and digging into the raw truth of the situation. This isn't apathy. It's a controlled detachment that allows him to see everything with unsettling clarity. While most people spiral into heated arguments or knee-jerk reactions, he takes a mental step back, studying the players, the dynamics, and the hidden motives. It's almost unnerving how calm he becomes. His stillness isn't a sign of surrender, it's the pause before precision. He processes every detail, calculates the impact of every possible move, and anticipates reactions before they even happen. In this state, he's untouchable. Emotional manipulation, guilt trips, or distractions don't work on him. They just bounce off, unnoticed. This detachment often leaves others feeling uneasy. They expect him to lash out, plead, or even break down, but instead they're met with silence and a piercing gaze that seems to read right through them. His lack of reaction becomes a mirror, reflecting the chaos of the situation back onto those who created it. And then comes the decisive move. Sigma males don't make noise, they make impact. When they act, it's calculated and final, leaving no loose ends. Whether it's cutting someone off, dismantling a lie, or walking away altogether, their choice is as cold as their analysis. They've seen every angle, anticipated every outcome, and made peace with their decision long before anyone else even realized what was happening. For the Sigma male, emotions don't dictate the play, they're just data to be understood. This ice-cold observation isn't weakness, it's power. When he's watching in silence, you can be sure he's already won. At number 3, they strip you of their value. When a Sigma male has had enough, he doesn't raise his voice or make a grand announcement. He simply withdraws, quietly but completely. Everything you once took for granted, their support, insight, effort, and even their presence, vanishes as if it were never there. It's not done out of spite. It's a calculated decision to protect their energy and focus on what truly matters, themselves. Sigma males know their worth. They recognize the value they bring to every relationship. Whether it's their unique perspective, emotional strength, or ability to fix problems others didn't even notice. For a while, they offer it freely, but only to those who appreciate it. The moment they feel unvalued or drained, they pull back, and when they do, the void they leave is undeniable. Suddenly, you're left on your own, facing the weight of responsibilities and challenges they used to shoulder without asking for credit. It's a harsh reality check for anyone who thought their contributions were invisible or easily replaceable. You start to see just how much they carried, often quietly and without complaint. This withdrawal isn't an attempt to punish, it's a reset. Sigma males aren't interested in teaching lessons. They simply refuse to stay in spaces where they're not respected. Their absence forces others to face what they overlooked. Their value wasn't just significant, it was foundational. And here's the most striking part: they don't look back. Once they've stripped their value from a situation, they move forward, investing it elsewhere or saving it for themselves. The message is clear. If you couldn't see their worth when it was freely given, you don't deserve a second chance. Gentlemen, thank you for being part of this amazing community. You are valued. Number 4, they deploy surgical verbal strikes. When a Sigma male is forced to speak up, it's not a messy argument or an emotional outburst. It's a calculated dissection. Their words aren't thrown around carelessly. They're chosen with surgical precision, cutting straight through the noise to expose truths most people desperately try to avoid. This isn't about winning a fight. It's about delivering clarity. Sigma males don't waste time on petty drama or circular debates. Instead, they observe, analyze, and store information, waiting for the right moment to deploy their verbal strikes. And when that moment comes, their words land with devastating accuracy. They don't insult or belittle, they illuminate. They take the contradictions, dishonesty, or hypocrisy in front of them and hold it up like a mirror, leaving the other person no choice but to face their own flaws. This approach isn't about cruelty or ego, it's about efficiency. Sigma males don't enjoy conflict, but they also won't let nonsense slide when it crosses their boundaries. Their calm delivery often makes the impact even more profound. They're not shouting to be heard. They're speaking truths that can't be ignored. For the person on the receiving end, it can feel like being stripped bare. Sigma males have an uncanny ability to pinpoint vulnerabilities people hide behind facades. And unlike typical arguments, there's no room for deflection or denial. Their words aren't just a response, they're a lesson. A stark reminder of the reality others are too scared to admit. Once they've said what needs to be said, they walk away, leaving their words to linger. They don't stick around for applause or rebuttals. Their job isn't to change your mind. It's to make you see the truth. Whether you accept it or not is entirely up to you. Number 5. They redirect their energy to themselves. When a Sigma male has had enough, he doesn't waste time trying to fix what's broken or pouring energy into a losing battle. Instead, he does something far more powerful. He redirects all that energy back to himself. What was once spent supporting others, solving their problems, or navigating toxic dynamics is now fully devoted to his own growth, and the transformation is undeniable. This shift is quiet but ruthless. He doesn't announce his plans or seek validation. He simply retreats, focuses, and begins leveling up in ways that catch everyone off guard. Whether it's mastering a new skill, pursuing a long-overdue goal, or simply improving his mental and physical well-being, the change is evident and unshakable. What makes this so impactful is that it's not about revenge or proving a point. Sigma males don't need applause or recognition to fuel their growth. The glow-up is for themselves, not for show. But that doesn't stop others from noticing. Those who once took him for granted or underestimated his potential are left stunned by the progress he makes once he's free of their influence. The best part, He doesn't look back. While others might stew in regret or try to re-enter his life, he's already miles ahead, focused on building something better. His success becomes a silent but cutting reminder of what they lost: the support, the insight, and the presence of someone who genuinely made a difference. For the Sigma male, this redirection isn't just about moving on. It's about thriving. It's proof that his energy is too valuable to be wasted. And when it's invested in himself, the results are extraordinary. Those who let him go often realize too late that his absence isn't just felt, it's impossible to replace. Number 6. They dismantle false narratives. When a Sigma male has had enough of lies and manipulation, he doesn't just call it out, he dismantles it completely. He doesn't yell, accuse, or play into emotional theatrics. Instead, he approaches the situation like a strategist, armed with facts, patterns, and undeniable evidence. One by one, he lays out the truth, exposing every falsehood and contradiction with such precision that there's nowhere left for the manipulator to hide. This isn't about petty revenge or public humiliation, it's about clarity. Sigma males have no patience for dishonesty, and when pushed, they ensure everyone sees things exactly as they are. They don't speculate or assume, they rely on hard facts. Whether it's a pattern of deceit, hidden motives, or outright lies, they'll bring it all to the surface, leaving manipulators scrambling to salvage their crumbling credibility. What makes this so devastating is the calmness with which it's done. There's no emotional outburst, no frantic accusations, just a quiet, methodical takedown. Manipulators are often caught off guard by how thorough the Sigma male's understanding of the situation is. While others might have fallen for the lies, the Sigma was silently taking notes, connecting dots, and preparing to expose the truth when the time came. And once the false narrative is dismantled, the Sigma male doesn't linger. He doesn't stick around to watch the aftermath or revel in the manipulator's downfall. For him, it's not about personal satisfaction. It's about removing toxic elements from his life and moving forward. In the end, the manipulators are left to deal with the wreckage they created, while the Sigma male walks away unbothered, his integrity intact. Those who underestimated his intelligence and attention to detail quickly learn that deception is a dangerous game to play with someone who sees through everything. Number 7. They use you as a case study once. When a Sigma male detaches emotionally, he doesn't just walk away, he turns you into a case study. Every interaction, every word, and every reaction becomes data, meticulously analyzed and cataloged in his mind. This isn't done out of malice, it's simply how they process. With no emotional ties, they approach relationships and situations as if studying a subject in a lab, observing patterns and behaviors with a detached, almost clinical precision. Your actions no longer carry meaning to them in the way they once did. Once the emotional connection is severed, your movements are no longer personal, they're just part of the broader experiment. Every word you say, every decision you make, is broken down into elements to understand who you really are and what drives your behavior. You're no longer a person they engage with emotionally, you're a figure in a psychological analysis. What makes this unsettling is that Sigma males don't share their findings or conclusions. They don't bring it up or confront you with what they've learned. Instead, they silently observe, confident in their understanding of the situation. Your intentions, manipulations, or emotions no longer affect them in the same way. They've stepped back, detached, and are simply processing what you represent, without needing your approval or acknowledgement. For those accustomed to influencing others through emotional manipulation or playing the victim, this can be jarring. Without an emotional response to feed off, they're left with no power, no control. Sigma males don't play into that. They've already seen through the games, and with every action, you're just another piece of data in their mental analysis. And once they've finished dissecting your behavior, your relevance diminishes entirely. The emotional connection is gone, and so too is any meaningful impact you once had on their life. Number 8. They change the power dynamic. When a Sigma male has had enough, they don't just step away, they completely rewrite the rules of engagement. The power dynamic is no longer something to be negotiated or fought over. Instead, They shift the balance entirely, ensuring that the tables turn in their favor. Suddenly, you're the one needing them, not the other way around, and they make sure you feel it in every interaction. Sigma males are natural leaders, but they don't seek control for the sake of dominance. They understand that true power comes from independence, clarity, and self-reliance. Once they detach from a situation or relationship that no longer serves them, they create a new framework where they no longer depend on anyone else for validation or approval. In turn, you're the one left striving to earn back their attention, respect, or support. A humbling experience for anyone who believed they held the upper hand. This shift is often subtle but unmistakable. They don't need to demand power. It naturally falls into their hands as others realize they can't manipulate, influence, or control them anymore. They're indifferent to emotional games, empty promises, or attempts to sway them with guilt or persuasion. Instead, they set boundaries and establish a new equilibrium where they are self-sufficient, and others must either respect that or be excluded entirely. What makes this so impactful is that they aren't seeking validation. Sigma males operate in their own sphere of influence, one where their worth is unshakable, and when the power dynamic changes, they do so with confidence, knowing that they no longer rely on anyone else to define their success or happiness. Those who once sought to hold power quickly discover that without them, the dynamic simply collapses, leaving nothing but a realization of what was lost. Number 9. They cut emotional cords instantly. When a Sigma male decides they've had enough, they don't hesitate or drag out the healing process. There's no need for months of reflection or gradual detachment. The moment they make the decision to let go, they cut emotional cords instantly, leaving no space for lingering attachments or second thoughts. It's not about holding grudges or playing mind games. It's about reclaiming their emotional autonomy with ruthless efficiency. Sigma males are deeply self-aware, and they understand the importance of guarding their emotional well-being. They don't allow themselves to be weighed down by past betrayals or false connections. Instead, they detach completely, knowing that emotional clutter drains their focus and limits personal growth. Once they've mentally severed ties, it's as though the relationship never existed in the same way. It no longer holds any power over their emotions or decisions. What sets this apart is the decisiveness behind the action. While others may attempt to salvage fractured relationships through apologies or reconciliation, Sigma males move forward without looking back. They've already processed the situation, identified the betrayal, and reached the conclusion that the emotional investment isn't worth the strain. Their detachment is swift and final, leaving no room for manipulation or emotional tug-of-war. For those who once believed they could manipulate or influence them through guilt or emotional strings, the Sigma male's ability to instantly cut ties is disorienting. Without those emotional connections, they become untethered, free to pursue their goals and relationships with authenticity and clarity. There's no lingering pain, no need for closure, only a sense of renewal and strength in moving forward. Number 10. They burn bridges strategically. When a Sigma male burns bridges, they do so with precision, not impulsivity. Unlike others who may leave doors open out of habit or hope for reconciliation, they understand that some connections are simply not worth preserving. For them, burning bridges is a calculated move, necessary when holding on to certain ties would only lead back into toxicity, manipulation, or unproductive patterns. Sigma males aren't reckless. They don't destroy relationships just for the sake of it. Instead, they assess the value of each connection, weighing whether the energy spent maintaining it aligns with their personal growth and well-being. When they make the decision to sever ties, it's final, but not without purpose. They know exactly which bonds need cutting, and they do so with clarity and intention. This strategic approach to burning bridges ensures that they aren't left tangled in unnecessary drama or guilt. They aren't driven by the fear of loss or regret, but by a deep understanding that holding on to harmful relationships only drains their energy and impedes their progress. Whether it's toxic friendships, manipulative partners, or draining family dynamics, Sigma males recognize when enough is enough, and they act decisively. What makes this process unique is the absence of emotional drama. They don't linger in the past or waste time revisiting what's been lost. Once a bridge is burned, they move forward with renewed focus, building a life centered around authenticity and peace. Those who once thought they had influence over them are left behind, unable to follow as the Sigma male continues to rise beyond the ashes. In conclusion, Sigma males are not just about rebellion or detachment. They're about clarity, strength, and making intentional choices that elevate their lives. When they've had enough, they don't waste time on unnecessary drama or emotional clutter. Instead, they cut ties, redirect their energy, and move forward with purpose. Their actions are deliberate, calculated, and powerful, reflecting a deep understanding of their worth and what they deserve. Being a Sigma male means living life on your own terms. It means recognizing that not every relationship or situation aligns with your values or supports your growth. When you've had enough, you trust yourself to make the right decision, even if it means walking away from what no longer serves you. And when you do, you become unstoppable. Life will test you, and people will try to push boundaries. But remember, you have the power to reshape the narrative. Sigma males understand that true strength comes from within, a quiet, unwavering strength that doesn't seek validation from others. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your actions, your progress, and your success speak volumes. So keep moving forward. Trust your instincts, stay true to yourself, and know that when you've had enough, you have the courage to walk away and build a life that aligns with your values. Embrace the journey, stay ruthless when necessary, and let nothing stand in the way of your growth. You are capable of more than you realize. Continue stepping into your power.